So yesterday we worked on adding fractions that had different denominators. So of course, guess what we're going to do today? That's right. So you can turn off your adding brain and turn on your subtracting brain because that's what we're going to focus on today. So how can we subtract fractions that don't have the same denominator? So this lady, Linda, she used 1/4 of the fabric that she bought for a sewing project. And we want to know how much fabric did she have left over. So first we need to know what was the total amount. And the total amount was 2/3 of a yard. Well, now we need to ask ourselves, how much did she use? She used 1/4 of the fabric. So what operation are you going to use to find out the answer? Aiden? Subtract. But when you see this subtraction problem, you notice that they're not the same denominator. So we can't do a problem like that. So what we're going to have to do is stack them the up and down way, and we're going to have to find a common denominator. Since we're so good at finding least common multiples, this is going to be easy for us. Because the problem asks how much fabric is left, we know that that means we're going to subtract. In story problems that we read, what are some words that give us a hint that they're asking us to subtract? You can certainly look back there. Kaden? Difference. How much left? Less than. How many are left? All right. Increased or decreased? Fewer. And? Okay. Okay. Take away. Good. Good. All right. So now we have our problem. And we certainly could think to ourselves, what would be a common denominator, the lowest common denominator that'll work with both a 3 and a 4? Well, we could make our list of all the factors of 3 and all the factors of 4, but you guys are probably pretty good at that now, so you can come up with this in your head. America, what are you thinking? 12. Okay, 12 would work great. Are there other numbers that would work as well? Yeah. Like what? Go ahead. 24, 36, 48. Any of those would work. Why would we pick 12? Why would 12 be the best choice? Emma? It's the least of the factors. We want the least common multiple. Okay, so now we can change these into 12ths. So now we have 3/12 minus 8/12 minus 3/12, which is, in your head you can do that. Do you need me to stack them up? 5/12. Is that in simplest form? It is. 5 is a prime number, and if 5 won't go into 12, then we know that we're done. All right, we're going to move on. I'm going to pause for a second. Our first problem has the denominator of a 6 and a 2. They did the work for us. They said we're going to choose 6 as our common denominator. Remember, my hint to you is always start with the bigger of the two denominators. So check these two out. Start with a 6. If it'll work, use it. And it will. Who can tell me in their heads how you can subtract these two fractions? Cole? Okay. Could I leave my answer as this? Why, Dathan? That's right. It's not in simplest form. So our simplified fraction would be 1/3. Now we're done because it has a 1 in it. A 7 and a 3. You can start with the bigger of the two, the 7, but it won't work. So in this case, they change them both and use the common denominator of 21. Who can give me the final answer for this one? Kaylin? The tricky part today, even though it sounds crazy, is making sure you subtract right. Go back to your roots. Go back to first grade math. Be very careful when you subtract. Kaylin? 5 over 21. Now, are we done? Yes, because 5 is a prime number and it won't go into the denominator. So we know we're done. Next example. Help me with this one. I need to rewrite it. A 2 and a 10. What would be a good common denominator, Brendan? Well, if I count by tens, I'm never going to say 5. 20 would work. Is there something smaller? If I count by tens, will I ever hit 15? No. What do we always try first before anything else? Caden, what should we try first before anything else? Try the bigger of the two. Okay. So as long as this stays the same, our top will stay the same. Brendan, can you help me? How did we get from 2 to 10? Do the same thing to the top. All right. Now you can do this subtraction problem. We're subtracting 5/10 minus 3/10. 2/10. Good. Are we done? Can I circle it? Sarah. No, we are not done. Aaron. 1/5. We can divide them both by 2. Now we're done. That's great. That's great. There may be problems today that you look at and think, I can do this in my head. Especially because the problems that you'll do today out of the book, some of them found the common denominator for you already. 7/8 minus 1/3. A good common denominator. The lowest common denominator. Dathan? 24 would work. Anything lower? No. So 24 here, 24 here. Dathan, help me with the bottom one. What would we turn this into? And the top one? Okay, so now we have 21/24 minus 8/24. Can anyone do that in their head? Alan? I saw that you had it on your iPad, so good for you. Do we leave that alone or can we do something to it? This is a prime number. 13 is a prime number. Only 1 times 13 gives us 13. Unless 13 will go into the denominator, we're done. It won't. You're right. Okay, are you guys ready for some practice problems on your iPad? Yeah. Okay. First problem. Six sevenths minus 1/2. Think of a good common denominator. Sam F., what would be a good common denominator? Good. You guys keep working. Darius, what did you change the top fraction to? Yes. 12/14. How about the bottom one? And your final answer then was? Is it done? It is. You're done. Put your pinky in the air if you got this one right. Okay. Next problem. 4/5 minus 1/4. What would be a good common denominator? Alexis, what would be a good common denominator? Mm-hmm. Great. Natasha, what did you turn the top fraction to? 16/20. The bottom fraction became 5/20. And when you subtracted, you got 11/20. Are we done? We are. 11's a prime number, and it won't go into 20, so we're done. Put your pointer finger in the air if you got that one right. Nice work. Next problem. 2/3 minus 5/9. How many of you are feeling like in many circumstances you may be able to do these in your head? Okay, that's fine. I'm fine with that. All right, what was the common denominator? Emma? 9. Always try the big one first. So this will stay the same. What did you change the top one to? 6. And when you subtracted, you got? 6 minus 5. Yep. 1/9. We know that's in simplest form because it has a 1 in it. Our numerator is 1, so we know it's simple. All right. One more practice problem, and then we are going to play another center game today. Challenge? Okay, give me a second. Seven eighths minus 2/6. We'll see. America, what's a good common denominator for these two numbers? Absolutely. Can you tell me what you changed the top one to? And the bottom one? When you subtracted, you got? It's okay. Okay, think about this. Now think about this. You're going to borrow from the 2 and make this a 1. So 11 minus 8. Yep. So 13 over 24. Is that okay, or we need to simplify? It's okay. Put your thumb in the air if you got that one right. Fabulous. Okay,